अच्छा, आप सच सच बता दो। कोई जुगाड़ है आपका, मतलब एसएसबी में?
Oh my God, not at all.
कोई तो
Not
होगा
at all.
जुगाड़, या 5वां कौन रिकमेंड होता है। तो very warm welcome to all of you to self selection board, a one step towards uniform। मेरा नाम है शुभम वार्ष्णेय और इस हफ्ते की हमारी गेस्ट हैं 5 times recommended वैशाली डागर। शी इज एक्सट्रीमली वाइज, एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड वर्किंग, एक्सट्रीमली इंटेलिजेंट। सोच के देखो, एक इंसान बार बार हर बार रिकमेंड हो रहा है, ना ही स्क्रीन आउट ना ही कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट, हर बार रिकमेंड हो रहा है। उसकी लेवल ऑफ नॉलेज, लेवल ऑफ हार्डवर्क का क्या सीमा होगा, मतलब वो जो चीज उसने ठानी उसने वो पा ली और हर बार पा रही है। देयर सम इशू जिसकी वजह से वो आज की तारीख में एकेडमी ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाई, और बट आज मैंने उन्हें बुलाया है बहुत रिक्वेस्ट करके कि प्लीज आप अपना जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो शेयर करो, अपनी नॉलेज प्लीज शेयर करो। और इसके साथ मैंने उनसे एक बात और कही है कि इस इंटरव्यू के बाद जो मैं आपका कंडक्ट कर रहा हूँ, प्लीज इमीडिएटली ऑन 2 अगस्त को एक वेबिनार आप कंडक्ट करो। और उस वेबिनार में आप जो स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर अभी देख रहे हैं आपको, उनके साथ आप इंटरेक्ट करो लाइव एकदम गूगल मीट पे। और गूगल मीट पे जैसे आपसे वो इंटरेक्ट करेंगे, उनके बहुत सारे सवाल कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे। वैसे तो मैंने पूरी कोशिश की कि आपके सारे के सारे सवाल इसी इंटरव्यू में जब मैं वैशाली डागर के साथ ले रहा हूँ तभी कंप्लीट हो जाए, बट डोंट मिस दिस चांस। यार रोज मौका नहीं मिलता है कि 5 times रिकमेंडेड पर्सन से आप लाइव बात कर रहे हो और अपने कोई भी सवाल पूछ सकते हो। तो यहाँ पर आप लाइव वेबिनार कंडक्ट करो, और वो उसमें सीडीएस पे बहुत ज्यादा फोकस करने वाली है इस लाइव वेबिनार में। ये कंप्लीटली फ्री है, देयर इज नो चार्ज ऑन इट। बस आपको एक काम करना है, गूगल फॉर्म आपको मिलेगा डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स के अंदर, वहां जाओ, उस गूगल फॉर्म पे आप उसको फिल करो, और हमारी तरफ से आपको एक ईमेल आएगा जिसमें आपको एक लिंक मिलेगा गूगल मीट का, और उसकी टाइमिंग मिलेगी कि हम ये सेशन कब कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं, और वहां पर आपको मिलेंगी वैशाली एंड आस्क हर एनीथिंग अबाउट सीडीएस। चलिए अब मुलाकात करते हैं वैशाली से। हाय वैशाली।
Hi, Shubham.
मुझे कभी भी लगता है मेरे चैनल का नसीब बहुत खराब है।
But
पहले तो
why?
मतलब ऐसा सीन है, आई नेवर गेट अ चांस टू इंटरव्यू अ गर्ल, ऑलवेज बॉयज, एंड आई नेवर गेट आल्सो अ चांस टू इंटरव्यू अ ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग।
Oh, thank you so much for considering.
But beside that, I was pretty surprised you have given SSB 5 times. It is equal to number of attempt I gave. And the more the surprise is कि मैं तो इतना repeater हो चुका हूँ, but you have nailed it and you have cleared all. You are recommended in all the 5 attempts.
Yeah.
And खास बात ये है कि सबके सब written है।
Yeah.
That was amazing, और सब सबके सब अच्छे खासे स्कोर के साथ हैं। That was most
Mm.
amazing. But I'm going to drill you right now. And one more thing I'd like to come to know about you, that you are right now have a channel also for SSB. The name is
Yeah.
Inside SSB, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you are helping the defense aspirant. You're almost
Right.
solving every problem which the defense aspirant face.
Yes. So the thing is that, like, I've started with this new opportunity for the kids, like specifically the defense aspirants, so that whatever issues that they are having, and they don't have a support system in family, because a lot of people who come are from civil background and don't know from where to know things. Okay, so if they have any doubts, they put down in the comments, and I make sure that I make a video on that, so that all their problems are sorted.
That's great, that's great. But अब मैं सारी नॉलेज यहाँ पर ले जाऊंगा, तो आई होप आपके पास इसके बाद कोई कंटेंट ना बचे आपके चैनल के लिए।
Oh, that's great. I'll be
So,
more than happy to share.
oh, love to. So get ready for drill. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am like to talk about CDS right now.
Okay.
Okay. So few months has been left right now. फर्स्ट
Right.
नवंबर में आने वाला है। एंड अब
Right.
मैं आपसे चाहूंगा कि कभी भी इंसान कभी क्रैश कोर्स खुद से भी करना चाहे तैयारी का,
Right.
व्हाट शुड बी स्ट्रैटेजी ऑन द फर्स्ट लाइन, अगर आपको लगे, व्हाट इज द माइंडसेट, फर्स्ट थिंग आई लाइक टू आस्क।
Okay, so when I talk about UPSC examination, Shubham, you also know that they are very different from normal exams, okay? They are not just about a single line that they're going to ask you and you'll just have to take one simple answer. These exams are moreover based upon the knowledge that you have of a particular subject.
ओके।
Okay, so basically dependent upon the reasoning capacity of a person.
ओके।
So I guess for CDS, the most important thing is whatever you read, you should have in-depth idea about it. That is the first and the foremost thing.
बट डू यू थिंक द इन डेप्थ नॉलेज इज पॉसिबल इन द स्मॉल पीरियड ऑफ टाइम? सोच के देखिए जिसका भी
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly, I will say undoubtedly. Reason being that strategy of person differs a lot from each and everyone. Okay, so what I usually see is that you will directly go and ask a person who cleared the exam that which book you did, and they'll never ask that how you did it. Okay, so first thing that you need to know is like how to do it. That is, you should know first the the areas that you're good at. For example, if you are a science graduate, okay, so you'll be much, much better in science than, economics or any other subjects. So what will be the first thing? We all know in GS, we just need to score 20 marks. And people actually are facing an issue in that GS area. So you should first make sure that whatever is your positive, like if it's science, do that well, get those marks in your hands because you've been reading it out for, almost like in the 11th and 12th, you've been doing the very same things. So make sure that whatever questions that are coming out of it, whether they're 15, at least you're able to do 10 well. Getting it?
Yeah, I'm
And
getting
then,
it.
yeah. And then the another thing that you need to look for is that you go through previous year question paper first. Look at which areas you're still able to attempt, like because we have a knowledge till 10th, okay? And everybody has that interest area, either in geography, civics, or history. So find out that interest because the place where you have a lot of interest, you'll be able to cover it much better. So find out those areas which are good for you and prepare them well and then go for in-depth knowledge of those instead of, doing everything. Focus on the areas in which you're good at. That is what I'll prefer.
Okay, so you are believing in the two things, and I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm somewhere wrong. So one thing, a person has a keen interest on certain subject for sure.
Yeah.
Second thing, you need to take care of the previous year paper.
Undoubtedly, that's the most important thing.
Okay, but I like to ask third thing also. Don't you do a focus on mock test?
Mock test plays an important role only after you know that what is to be read. First, you need to mock tests are not UPSC examinations. Okay, the people who are sitting in UPSC are preparing it with a lot of drill, lot of putting their brains into it and making the questions. The mock questions are prepared like people like you and me. Okay, who have been reading the subjects. So the thing is that first thing that you need to do is previous years. Once you're done with previous years, you know what is coming. Then pick up a book, read it thoroughly, know what books are to be done after you know that what is to be read. Because we have this huge syllabus, and only 20% of the syllabus fetches you 80% marks in any paper. This is the reality, and this is the analysis that is being done. So this is known as smart study. So we should focus on smart study instead. You should just go for that 20% that is important. And how you'll get to know that? By analyzing the previous years. Know the topics that are coming. For example, I'll just give you an example for it, okay? For example, you see that there is a question related to Mahatma Gandhi every year, right? And what you will do is that you'll go and read out whole ancient, medieval, and everything, and not focus on that area that is coming. You'll read it, but undoubtedly you'll not remember it thoroughly because you've read so much and you've not given sufficient revisions to that part that is coming. So read what is coming, give multiple revisions to it, so as to that you remember that particular statements which you read.
Okay.
That is the most important thing. Yeah.
Okay. I'm now going to counter biggest thing over here. मैंने
Yeah.
सुना है the UPSC aspirant like to do revision जो जिन्होंने qualify किया है like to do revision more and more and more. एक बार
Yeah.
syllabus complete किया then revision more and more. Am I right?
Right.
Okay, fair enough. One more counter question. जब आप रिवीजन करते हो तो पहली बार जब कराओगे आई एम श्योर चाहे टॉपर हो चाहे वीके स्टूडेंट हो आई एम श्योर ही इज going to score lowest for the first revision.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the revision which he did 7 times is like a scanning.
Yeah.
So this is the right methodology, right?
Undoubtedly, it is. Like you have to go through the things again and again to make sure that you have it in your mind. Because the thing is that there is so much of information. If you just go through it once, you're going to get confused between president and prime minister's basic things. Like, there are a lot of things that comes into role. How they're elected. Okay. What is the age? So the age, like for some people, it's 35. For some, it's 30. You'll get confused with that. And those are the statements which come in the examination. How will you remember it unless you've not done the revisions?
Okay, I again like to counter over you. But most of the defense aspirant, वो तो आखिरी मोमेंट तक तैयार करते रहते हैं एग्जाम 2 दिन बाद है फिर भी वो अपना कोर्स ही कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं.
So आपको पता है डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट का सबसे बड़ा इशू क्या है? The issue who are not able to clear it, I'll say. Firstly, they've not analyzed the thing. The thing that I put down the first thing, they have not analyzed what is coming.
Correct.
And if they've not analyzed the thing, how will they know what is important? And if it's not important, that's a humongous syllabus for you. Okay, you are going to study for 5-6 months. The same thing again and again repeatedly, the thing that is not even coming in exams. So you need to analyze those basic points, analyze it thoroughly, that what is coming, prepare just those, and that will be good to go.
Okay. So we are talking 5-6 months wali strategy right now, but I like to bring you back to the crash course part. अब समय नहीं
Yeah.
है 5-6 months.
I completely understand 5-6 months ka time nahi hai. That is why I'm saying go for your core areas. If you would have got 5-6 months, I would have asked you to go through each and everything so that you can score as much as possible. Now you're just left with like a few months, 3-4 months. So what is the most important thing right now for you is analyze what are your strong parts. Give without studying, okay? Without studying, give that paper and try to know in which areas you're able to score, which areas are those where you're doing, least negative. So you'll understand where you are not doing negatives, that are your positive areas. Focus on that, work hard on it, do revisions, and make sure that those parts are good enough. And talking about the GK part, so the GK part is something that is you have to update on regular basis. And for that, even there are particular areas. I'll just share a few so that your family can get a lot of help. So I'll just share that the thing is almost 3 to 4 questions every year come from census 2011, and students leave it. They are studying these fat books of polity and they leave that census part. Then there are different organizations. There are various places of it, okay, like RIMC or there's NDA. They'll just simply ask you the question, where is it located? Like NDA is in Khadakwasla. So they'll ask such easy questions. Why not do 2-3 pages of this instead of going for fat books? Find out which areas are there. Find out which areas are to be read.
ओके फेयर इनफ. अब मैं यहाँ पर थोड़ा एक काउंटर करता हूँ. सी
Yeah.
मुझे लगता है डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट ना अंधभक्त होता है. ओके, आई
I
एम यूजिंग
agree.
वेरी
I
स्ट्रॉन्ग
agree.
वर्ड. स्ट्रॉन्ग वर्ड. सी मैं मानता हूँ कि यूनिफॉर्म के लिए जो प्यार है वो बहुत जरूरी है. समवेयर इज गेट गिव अ मोटिवेशन. बट वो इतना अंधभक्त हो जाता है कि सामने वाला कुछ कह दे और वो फट से पिकअप कर लेता है. लेट मी गिव एन एग्जांपल. सपोज अ पर्सन हैव अ वेरी गुड करंट अफेयर एंड साइंस. यू विल एग्री ऑन मी, आई होप, कि उसके दम पे आप 20% निकाल सकते हो जीएस का.
Very easily. Very
बट
easily.
बट दैट्स नॉट ट्रू फॉर ऑल. अब क्योंकि किसी ने बोल दिया है कि अगर तुम्हारा साइंस और जीके तैयार है तुम यू सेल आउट, वो बेचारा घबरा जाता है. यू सेड इट किया आप अपने जो कोर सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो आपने ग्रेजुएशन में पढ़े हैं उस पर फोकस करो. बट द पीपल विल फॉरगेट दिस वर्ड.
That is a thing that they need to remember always, because when we are sitting here after clearing examination, getting a rank, the main thing we are here for is that I can at least support certain people who don't know like how to prepare. Why am I here on your channel? This is the only reason, right? So if a person who has cleared it, they are telling you the basics. I'm not saying that I'm an extremely intelligent student. The only thing that I'll say is that I have studied very smart. There are a lot of people who have worked harder than me, like if I've read for 2-3 months, they've read for 5-6 months, and they're still unable to qualify. The only reason, the only difference was that they were working hard and I was working smart.
ओके, फेयर इनफ. सो अगर हम मोटा मोटा लें तो अगस्त और सितंबर में कोर्स अब खत्म हो जाना चाहिए और अक्टूबर शुड बी अ कंप्लीट रिवीजन टाइम.
Complete revision time. And I'll not say that just October. The revision, there is a pattern of revision. Okay. When you study something, to keep it in your permanent memory, you should have spaced revisions. If you'll read it today and after 2 months you plan to revise, that's not going to help you. You have to keep it in a form of revision. For example, if I read something today, I will make sure that I revise it tomorrow because it's going to take a lot less time. If I've read it for 2 hours today, I'll revise it in another 20 minutes tomorrow. And if I give it on a weekend, like after doing the first revision, I'll put down a revision on a weekend. It will take me just another 15 minutes. And that way, the thing will get into my mind. So the spaced revisions is the thing. You need to study right now and keep on giving spaced revision. You should not wait that once my course gets completed, I'll start revision. No, that is not the technique.
ओके. बट यहाँ पर मैं एक बात कहूंगा कि कहीं आपको टीडियस काम नहीं लगता ये. मतलब मैं आपको बताऊं, द मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल डू नॉट रिवाइज जस्ट बिकॉज दे फील टीडियस. अभी तो क्लास खत्म करके चुके हैं यार, अभी फिर पढ़ने बैठे हैं. And what?
Where I'm defense aspirant ho and you're thinking about tedious things, I feel that there are a lot of things that are waiting for you in academy then. This is just the basic.
Just the basic.
Yeah, so hard work is required.
Yeah, but what kind of mindset you had? Beside these words you have sent are very inspiring. But beside that, what mindset did you have? क्योंकि कुछ ना कुछ
Uh,
माइंडसेट तो आपके पास होगा, क्योंकि आप बचपन से पढ़ते आ रही हैं, एंड यू आर वेरी गुड इन स्टडीज.
yeah, I was decent enough by God's grace. So I used to like studying books. That was a part of my, you can say it was my hobby to keep on studying. So yeah, but the thing is that I was no different, Shubham. I'm seriously telling you this thing. If I can do it, anybody out of you can do it. That is the reality.
ओके. ओके. बट फिर भी मैं दोबारा एक बार एम्फेसाइज करूंगा. आप 10th भी पढ़ा है, 12th हो गया, ग्रेजुएशन हो गई, स्टिल तब तो एक माइंडसेट जो था कि हाँ यार यूनिफॉर्म या कुछ और, वो नहीं था मोटिव. देन व्हाट गिव यू दैट माइंडसेट कि हाँ ये रिवाइज करना है?
Revision, look, Shubham, when we talk about preparation of any of the examination, okay, and if we are telling that we are giving this examination, we are not running away from ourselves because we are old enough to understand that it's our responsibility to now study for it if you have filled the examination, okay. So you cannot run away from the fact that you have filled an examination, you're not studying. You'll yourself get a motivation that you filled that exam and you have to clear it. Why
ओके.
you filled it? Yeah.
ओके, दैट्स ग्रेट. अच्छा, यहाँ से आपको लग रहा होगा मैंने आपका काफी कंटेंट ले लिया इनसाइड एसएसबी का, सो आई एम लाइक टू मूव अहेड ओवर हियर. ओके, सो एक बात ना आपको, आप मेरे हिसाब से मतलब महसूस करोगे, क्योंकि जब मेरा सीडीएस का एग्जाम दिया करता था, सो मुझे एक बात का बहुत बेनिफिट मिलता था कि मे बी इट्स टीडियस टुडे,
Yeah.
बट जब वो एक मंथ का रिवीजन होता है ना, इट्स लाइटर देन एनी ऑफ दोज प्रिपरेशन मंथ्स.
Agreed, agreed.
आप सिर्फ 1 घंटा पढ़ रहे होते हो पूरे दिन का, और आपने सिर्फ वो मॉक टेस्ट करा होता है, दैट्स इट. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ
Yeah,
दोज पीरियड्स, क्योंकि आपने बार बार रिवीजन किया है, मॉक टेस्ट दिया है, स्कोर विल डेफिनेटली स्टार्ट बिकमिंग अप. सो
right.
जो एनालिसिस करने का पार्ट भी होता है वो भी छोटा हो जाता है, एंड दैट्स द 1 hour
Exactly.
मैक्सिमम 2 hour, एंड योर जॉब इज डन.
Right. And moreover, I'll just emphasize on a fact how you should give mocks also. Okay. So there is a tendency that you need to create. You have to start with first the divisions. Like, for example, if I'll talk about history to you, you will start first giving an ancient test, then a medieval test, and then a modern test. And then you will give a test that is full of all these three parts, that is ancient, medieval, and modern. And finally, you will be able to revise the same thing twice, if you can see. Okay. You learned it once, you gave a test once for ancient, medieval, and that separately, and then you gave a modern test, and then finally you will give full length tests. So
Okay.
this will create itself a way of revision. You can do this. This is a good strategy.
Yeah, that's an awesome strategy. I didn't ever apply that, but that's an awesome strategy. But for what is the resource of getting such mock test कि subject wise मिल जाए?
Okay, so what I used to do is that I used to differentiate my UPSC papers itself. On a serious note, Shubham,
Okay.
I just got that UPSC. I didn't bought any book telling you specifically. There is a upsc.gov.in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will go there. You will find all the previous year papers. Just go and get them printed. Sit down. Find a time to differentiate the part. Do a drill yourself. Those questions will be the best questions. Believe me that there is no test series better than your previous years. That is what is going to make you.
Okay. Now.
And after that, you can go for varied, test series. There are a lot of test series that are available. Even inside SSB has now launched a test series.
Okay.
So even students can go for that. We have this repetitive, revision tests and then full length tests. So that because we have been through that, okay, the inside SSB family is made up of all those people who have already cleared examinations on various levels, and hence they know like what is to be done. Okay, so in the similar pattern of revisions and the similar way of studies, we have made this course in which we are making sure that you get all the study material that is useful, that 20% that will sail you through the whole syllabus, and secondly those test series which is going to help you out a lot, because we have those spaced repetitive tests which will make sure that you don't have to make your own strategy for revisions. Instead, we are there to give you that bamboo that you have to do it on any
Okay.
terms and condition. Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
So yeah, so that is the thing. And for all those who cannot afford various courses, I will suggest you this one thing: go for UPSC papers. Okay, nothing is better than that.
Okay. Great. अच्छा, यहाँ पर ना एक बात करनी रह गई. वो बात क्या थी कि हमने ये बात नहीं की कि यूपीएससी हर किसी का ध्यान रखता है. कहने का सेंस क्या था, चाहे आप
Everybody,
बीकॉम के हो, चाहे आप साइंस के हो, चाहे कुछ
right?
हो. मैंने एम्फेसाइज ये तो कर दिया कि हाँ ये बात सच है कि साइंस अगर आप जीके प्रॉपर अच्छी तरह से आपको आती है, एंड यू कैन डू 100% क्वेश्चंस, फॉर श्योर आप 20% आराम से निकाल दोगे. बट फॉर श्योर अगर आप किसी और ब्रांच के भी हैं, सो कंबाइनिंग ऑल योर सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी एंड अदर्स, यू विल इजीली सेल आउट. एम आई राइट?
You are very right about it. This is what I told you in the first stance, okay?
Yeah.
That you need to know your positives. Because if you have economics as a subject, do it well, buddy. If you have arts as a subject, do that well. If you had, science subject, do that well. So
Okay.
it's different for every person. No person can have the similar strategy until unless you don't know like what is right and wrong for you. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. So I like to move from here, and I like to talk about SSB right now.
Okay.
अच्छा, आप सच सच बता दो, कोई जुगाड़ है आपका मतलब एसएसबी में?
Oh my God, not at all.
कोई तो
Not
होगा
at all.
जुगाड़, या पांचवा कौन रिकमेंड होता है? मैं तो ऐसे ऐसे सुना है, मैंने एक बंदे का इंटरव्यू लिया था, हु गॉट रिकमेंडेड इन टीएस एंड देन ही गॉट रिकमेंडेड इन 6th अटेम्प्ट। मतलब
Oh my
12वीं में
God.
रिकमेंड हुआ, उसके बाद छठी बार जाके सीडीएस
So
में जाके हुआ।
I too have a lot of friends like these like they were with me in the first recommendation and then they were not able to get recommended and then they finally got recommended in their fourth and fifth attempt. This happens with a lot of people because your personality keeps changing. Okay, so if that suits SSB, they're good to go. They'll take you. If they find that you lack somewhere or the other, you need to find it out and again make sure that your personality is similar according to their requirement.
सो व्हाट, मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है फिर तो आपने कहीं बांध के रख दी थी अपनी पर्सनालिटी। ना ना, आज के बाद घर से बाहर नहीं निकलूंगी मैं किसी कीमत से। पता नहीं
I
पर्सनालिटी चेंज
wish
हो गई
it
तो।
was I wish it was like that, Shubham, but maybe the personality change was positive enough so that it met the requirement of SSB. And you should never challenge any UPSC selections because they are very fair. When there is Union Public Service Commission and there is something like SSB, make sure those officers who are sitting amongst the GTO, your psychologist, whoever, they are more careful about their country while choosing you. They don't give any they don't have any sympathy towards you. They'll be more sympathized towards their nation. So that is what I would like to say on that
So
terms.
that's a great part of our UPSC and SSB. But I like to move
Right.
forward over here. So you know something. See, the personality, I personally agree with you कि कहीं ना कहीं positiveness होनी चाहिए और positive aspect ही change होना चाहिए. But I'm sure you have a very clear mindset that how I have to go for exams of different kind of, like especially for
Right.
screening.
Right.
You have
Of
seen.
course, I had an idea. Look,
Hmm.
Shubham. So, seriously telling you, I belong to defense background. Okay, so that has made things simpler for me because I had been surrounded by various officers throughout my life, and that is the reason that my personality has undoubtedly it had an impression. You know that the people who surrounds you make you, right? You must have heard about it.
G.
So when such amazing people are surrounding you, you tend to learn a lot from them. You get a lot of confidence. You get a lot of knowledge from them, right? So I feel that that was one of the thing. And secondly, I didn't have to go around, looking for guidance. So there were a lot of people whom I could go directly and ask. Like a lot of civilian people face this thing that they don't have a guidance, right? They don't get direct, they cannot approach people directly to know what is to be done. So I was benefited in this particular manner. And that is why I've opened this inside SSB so that whatever guidance or defense people are getting, even the civilians should get that. So that is my ultimate motive.
Sure, I'm getting your point. But best of my remembrance, you didn't take coaching, right?
Yeah, I took guidance, undoubtedly.
Okay,
I
you
took
took guidance.
guidance.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So after taking guidance, I'm sure you have some mindset regarding screening also, right? You being a
Yeah,
repeater, you
right.
being a fresher also. So if I just talk about the PPNDT,
Yeah.
so what mindset you took in for giving to PPNDT or GD? What's your mindset?
PPDT and GD part.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing first, whenever we talk about PPDT, that is the prime thing. Okay,
Okay.
here in your the screening in test, they are not checking whether your office you have those OLQs or not.
Mm-hmm.
What they're checking is, are you eligible to be checked further? Can we keep you here for another few days for the checking process?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
very important line. If अगर ये person
Yeah.
समझ गया, मेरे हिसाब से screening का आधा काम खत्म हो गया है.
Yes.
Okay.
So you don't need to just show there that you're an officer, you have officer like qualities. What you need to show there is that you are capable enough to be judged ahead. Okay. So, and telling you one more thing, the screening in, it is sometimes, even the best of candidates go out and the good, who are not even good enough, they go in. This thing happens in screening in, okay? It is a lot of luck plays a role in screening in. I'll not deny that. Fine. So I've been lucky for these 5 attempts that I got screened in.
No, no,
Otherwise, I
no, no,
wouldn't.
no, no. You are lying. You didn't. You just being luck cannot play the 5 times rule. यार एक बार इंसान का luck हो
Yeah,
सकता है, दो
I
बार हो सकता है.
understand. Look, recommendation plays a role, okay? But screening in, there is a luck.
Five
I will
times.
say this thing.
5 बार.
Yes. The thing is, the people who got recommended with me 3 times, okay, Shubham, that person got, screened out with me in Dehradun. So that is the time I realized, okay, this plays a role. And there are certain candidates who were not, who were not even equivalent to that girl, and still they got screened in. So there are sometimes, maybe I'll not say just luck. The thing is that you must have made some mistake at that point in time. Okay, so
Yeah.
you must have left something unturned in front of an assessor to make sure that he believes that you will get you have those qualities that you can be judged upon.
Okay, fair enough. What you told is really good. ठीक है, आपने बताया कि कहीं ना कहीं कोई पेज अनटर्न रह गया होगा जिस वजह से कहीं ना कहीं स्क्रीनिंग में गड़बड़ हो गई होगी. See,
Right.
but it seems you every time going to मतलब आप कोई ऐसा पेज अनटर्न नहीं छोड़ देते कि यार मैं स्क्रीनिंग ना हूँ. Correct.
Right.
Now I like to move with that on PP&ET. So in PP&ET अगर हम बात करें, so PP&ET में आपके पास पिक्चर्स आती हैं and you have to
Right.
analyze it, right? So I am showing you one picture right now,
Okay.
जिसमें एक लड़की फ्रंट में है and they are looking to the farmers, looking family, and she has a books. That's a very clear picture which is of
Right.
that. But how did you analyze these? मतलब कैसे आप perceive करते हो?
Okay, so basically, Shubham, whenever I perceive any picture, the major thing that I focus upon is that I don't leave things on the side. Okay, the thing is that we tend to lose a little bit of things that are kept on the side. For example, in this particular picture, okay, I'll not focus on the house, and there is a lady that seems to be crying right there. If you can see, seems to be in some saddened position. Okay, majorly people will miss that out and just see that girl and start making a story. So the major thing that plays a role is to understand what's going on in the picture. Those 30 seconds are given to you to understand what's there in the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I saw this picture, I will get an idea. I will try to relate it somewhere or the other. Okay. So when I see this, it seems like this girl is very much interested in education. Okay. On the same point in time, a woman seems to be like maybe her mother, right? And they have a huge farm. They work upon that farm.
Yeah.
We know the condition in our country of farmers. We don't tend to have a lot of money, right? So this girl seems to be interested. So what would have I, perceived out of this picture? For everybody, Shubham, I'll tell you, everybody has different personality and perceive it in some other way. So don't think that what I made is the best. The thing is that it matches my personality.
Okay.
That is the thing. Okay. So when I saw this picture, I would have made it that this girl is very much interested in education. Okay. And she had been studying hard, even helping her family in her household work, whatever it is there. Now she attained a good scholarship, etc. Her teachers also encouraged her, got her some scholarship filled, and she finally got admission in a very deemed university. And she's first time going away from the family for that education part. So her mother is a little, she's emotional about it. And now that girl leaves and she completes her education and even support her younger siblings for education. That is what is seen in village. People are very much attached to family, and that's not seen in the, cities these days. So I would have made a story somewhat like that.
Okay, fair enough. I got an idea. But do you think while writing or you use that 30-second properly?
Yes, that is the most important thing. Majorly people lose a perception. They don't have a good perception, because they left out those small details that that were there in the picture of yours. So details need to be analyzed properly. If you're leaving it, that is an issue because you're not focusing upon a whole picture.
Okay, one question comes to me 1,000 times. Comes to me 1,000 times कि सर मैंने पिक्चर देखी और मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि इसमें कहानी क्या बनेगी. Okay, so initially when I start preparing, yes, I face that problem. But I agree with your words, but I like to emphasize over here. मेरी बात से अगर आप सहमत कर रहे हो तो आप बताना कि अगर आप पिक्चर को ढंग से देख रहे हो और उसका पास्ट और फ्यूचर समझ पा रहे हो कि यहाँ से अब कहानी कहाँ जाएगी. I think you can make it, right?
Undoubtedly you can make it because picture is just a part of your story. Remember this thing, okay? This picture, like you must have seen there are movies, okay? You just take a screenshot out of a movie. It is just like that. So you should be able to make it a story before that and after that. It's just a screenshot of a story.
Okay. Now I like to re-emphasize one more thing over here. Why the most of the people do a stupidity to find a positivity in the picture, or they like to make कि कुछ positive story बन जाए. What's that? मेरे हिसाब से तो ये stupidity है, ऐसा कुछ देखने की जरूरत नहीं है.
Shubham, on this very point, I would like to say that it actually depends a lot on your personality. There are few people who will watch a very positive picture and still ends it up into a negativity, and you'll find a lot of people who will do, take a negative picture and in a way or so find a positivity in it. Okay, so you cannot be abruptly positive. There is a difference between abruptly positive. That is, you're ignoring the fact that there is something wrong going on. Okay, so you need to channelize yourself in a way that you are able to find that negative aspect of the picture and still do something for it to make sure that some outcome, there is some negative, positive outcome for the very same thing.
Okay. ठीक है, मैं आपकी बात यहाँ पर समझ गया हूँ, बट यहाँ पर ना मैं एक चीज ना आपके साथ थोड़ा ट्विस्ट के साथ लेकर आना चाहूंगा. टैट में स्पेशली, टैट में ऐसा आता है कि जो पिक्चर्स आती हैं कभी कभार सिमिलर आ जाती हैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आवर व्यूअर्स राइट नाउ एबल टू सी दो पिक्चर हैं, दोनों में एक लड़की है जो पढ़ी लिखी लग रही है, हाथ में किताब है. इसमें एक में लड़की मॉडर्न दिख रही है थोड़ी, और एक में गांव की लग रही है. सिनेरियोस कंप्लीटली सेम. सोच के देखो वो टैट का वो सीन चल रहा है एंड पिक्चर आ गई, यू आर गोइंग टू गो, आई मीन आप ब्लैंक हो जाओगे 2 मिनट के लिए. यार अभी तो लिखी थी, अब दोबारा कहाँ से लाऊं मैं कहानी.
Okay, Shubham. So, as you showed me this particular picture, I would like to say that, yeah, there is a little bit of similarity because it's about the village. But when I look at the, people, they are quite a lot different, okay? So, that is why I emphasize on those 30 seconds. Now, every picture is trying to show you, something different. In that one, it seems like that girl is very much interested into studies. In this particular picture, when I see, these seem to be rural women. And one amongst them is trying to speak to this another lady who is sitting on the side, if you can see, okay? So making sure I see at these particular things very clearly. So I can now perceive that there is some talk going on in between these two people. What will people do wrong here is, if they see agricultural lands, they'll make a story that there was some issue in the agricultural lands, okay? They will not focus on this. They'll make some water issues in the village, and they'll not focus on this because they have been coached in a way. But even if you take coaching, the thing that you have to keep in mind is that you have to think how, what is to be taken and what is to be not taken, okay? So in this particular picture, Shubham, when I see, I will make sure that, I'll make a story that is related to somewhat self-help groups maybe, okay? I can talk about the cottage industry, okay? So there have been some skill development camp that is going on. And the skill development camp has asked a panchayat lady to accumulate all the ladies of the villages, okay, and making a particular a way to aware them about the fact how to use their skills, how to earn money. Because when we see in rural areas, the major problem that they face is that they don't have good amount of money, okay. So we can address that issue in it. Getting it?
Yeah, I'm personally feeling very lucky कि inside SSB के जितने viewers होते होंगे, subscribers होंगे, उनको ये सब frequently सुनने को मिलता होगा. That's a very lucky. But चलो आज तो आपसे चोरी हो ही जाएंगे जितने inside SSB के हैं. So I like to move forward with this knowledge कि PBDT हो गया. But what about GD? मैं सुना लड़कियां बातें बहुत करती हैं, तो GD में भी ऐसा ही होता है क्या?
That is same for boys and girls both, because everybody is there to get screened and finally. So same is the case with boys and the girls. Everybody is making a good mess there to make sure that they are being heard in a way or so, right? So I feel that everybody has to give their communication skill a good support in this particular aspect. Now, how to do it is that you should have a strong voice. Make sure that you have that voice that doesn't feel like you're dictating someone, okay? You're not showing a dictatorship behavior there, because that is not an acceptable thing. Okay, you have to make sure that your voice is good enough, that it is being heard. Practice speaking a little loud. I see your voice to be amazing. On a serious note, you must be having a great opportunity in this GD part.
I wish कि तुम्हारी बात सारी सच होती, but I got screened out many times, so I will not comment much more on that. But yes, it's a मतलब फायदा बहुत होता है.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. But चलो ये तो voice की बात हो गई.
Yeah.
बट इसके बाद अगर मैं बात करूं तो यार जीडी में बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. एक वॉइस का टेंशन ठीक है.
Of course, that is the basic thing that you need
हाँ.
firstly.
बट बिसाइड दैट व्हाट यू कीप यू नो माइंड कि भाई मेरी बात सुन ली जाए.
Look, Shubham, the thing is that you don't have to act like a whistleblower there, okay?
Okay.
You need to make sure that you're not asking people that you speak, now you speak. You're not there for that particular purpose, right? The main thing that you need to focus upon is that the good areas that you've talked about is being heard, and in the same particular manner, you are listening to another people's thing, okay? When it is a GD, for the sole purpose of GD here is to make a story, right? A group story. So that is the aim. For that, all of the members have to equally support the thing, okay? Yeah. This is not like, listen to me, just listen to me. No, you have to listen to others, and you have to make sure that the points that are valid of yours are being heard. That is it. And never be a person who is not accepting others, stories or another person's point. Because a lot of people have this tendency that I have to just put down my story as a final story. That is not the thing, Shubham.
Okay, fair enough. I understood your point. But क्या कुछ भी बोलना चलता है?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just said this thing, the valid points of your story, the things that you can feel can, accumulate in the story that is a common story. Okay, if a point is, if a story is being made, what out of your story can be supported? What out of your story, what that sentence can help to make that particular story. Okay, you can just add that part.
Yeah, मतलब common story लाने के लिए क्या चीज की जरूरत पड़ेगी इस बात पर ध्यान देना. Okay, right. I understood. Now moving forward, we have done with the first stage. So I personally agree कि OIR मेरे हिसाब से important होता है, right? And some people prepare for it and some people take casual on it, about it. So do you take it casual?
On a serious note, Shubham, like when you prepare for AFCAT, this is a thing that your reasoning is good enough.
That I agree, but do you take OIR as a casual?
No. I don't talk about it casually because I have prepared for reasoning beforehand. But if I would not have prepared, I would have worked for it. But I never prepared for OIR because the thing is that the level of that OIR is just very basic, okay? If you are able to clear the reasoning of AFCAT, I am very sure that you're going to do amazing in that particular set. And the questions that I talk about, I'll just like to discuss that too, because a lot of people have in doubt, like which kind of questions come in OIR. Look, you need to focus nicely on your DICE questions. Then there are certain dictionary related questions that are there. Okay, those are the major questions that accommodate in this particular, OIR test. And there is a strategy, Shubham, that I usually follow in OIR, because in the first time when I did, I actually couldn't, fill out a lot of questions with my brains, because of course we know that there is no negativity into it. Negative marks are not there. So I used to fill out, the questions without even thinking what's the answer. Like 4-5 questions used to stay down. Okay. So what I planned next time is I first did all the English questions. They are very easy, very, very easy, just like, dictionary questions. Then I did the DICE questions, and finally I came to the maths questions. This should be the strategy. You should not do it like starting from the first till last, because you tend to, have that thing that you're doing DICE question, then you get an English question. So your mind that was working in a particular way tends to change its way again. It will be much better that you do DICE question once, you will do dictionary question once, and do other maths related question once. That is going to help you out.
Okay, I understood. But यहाँ से जरा हम थोड़ा आगे बढ़े तो भी आ जाते हैं स्टेज 2 पे. The lucky ones going to stage 2 right now.
Right.
So मुझे लगता है कि ना यहाँ से सब लोग चिड़े हुए रहते होंगे जो स्टेज 1 में गए हैं. So I personally feel कि मेरे साथ तो काफी बार स्क्रीन आउट हो गया है. So जब वो लोग स्टेज 2 में चले जाते हैं, then immediately their work started with the PIQ GOC साहब आ जाते हैं और हल्ला काटना शुरू. फटाफट भरो, फटाफट आगे बढ़ो एंड आगे. But the moment is psychological test has come up. The first day has come up a psychological test. We have talked about TAT. Yeah. But I like to talk about SRT. See, मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव बिलीव है, मैंने गर्ल्स की SSB नहीं देखी है, but somewhere girls की SSB completely अलग होती है as compared to boys.
Not completely alag. The fact is, it is a little different because the questions, because we male and female in this particular society are believed to have certain roles, okay? When we talk about our Indian society. And the similar manner, the questions are being asked by us. There is a difference in the type of SRTs that come. and the tag picture will be quite much similar. The only thing is where the males were there in your pictures, in the very same place the females will be there. So that is the difference.
ओके, तो यू करेक्टेड मी ओवर हियर, आई नो दैट, बट अब मैं इसी बात को जो आपने कही है उसी पे मैंने एसआरटीज आपके सामने रखना चाहूंगा। ये
Okay.
एसआरटी आएगा मेरे हिसाब से, अगर यहाँ पर है मैं बताना चाहूंगा, यू आर अ कमीशन ऑफिसर एंड मदर ऑफ 3 year old and you are asked to go for a training.
Right.
So what's she gonna do?
Yeah. So Shubham, when I come across any such SRT, okay, the thing that goes in my mind, there are two things. That is, she's a mother, and you know the relationship between a mother and a kid, okay? That's very emotional.
जी.
And the second thing, that is a choice. That is your work. You're a commissioned officer. You have some, responsibility for the nation as well. So you're in a dilemma. In such situation, what can hold back is your child, right? And the mother who has brought you up, or the mother of your husband who has brought him up, they're capable enough to take care of your child. Okay, so in any such situation, I'll make sure that I'll go for that particular training, and my kid can be taken care of in a very well manner by my parents, by my mother or his mother. This is what I'll go for in such reactions regarding such situations.
ओके, यहाँ से मैं आगे बढ़ता हूँ, एक और एसआरटी है। सो इट
Okay.
सेज यू वांट टू डू अ जॉब बट योर इन-लॉज वांट यू टू लीव इट, व्हाट यू विल गोना डू?
Okay. Okay, Shubham. So when I see such situation, the thing is that in today's world, the requirement of women to earn is very important because the expenses have increased a lot, right? And I have spent so much money on my education. I will not like to leave my job. Instead, what I can do is that I can convince my in-laws about the fact that there is a major support, monetary support of mine in the house. If they feel that there is certain other help that I can do, which I'm not able to do, I will make sure that I'll focus on that, but I'll not leave the job. That is what I'm going to take a stance here.
ओके, चलो अब मैं जरा इस एसआरटी को पर्सनल इंटरव्यू की तरफ लेके जाता हूँ।
Okay.
ठीक है, नाउ द नॉर्मली द एसआरटी आस्क्स इन द पर्सनल इंटरव्यू कि कहीं उसकी साइकोलॉजी में हैम्पर हो रहा है, ठीक है?
This will be asked in a conference.
ओके,
I'll
मे
say
बी
this thing.
कॉन्फ्रेंस, चलो मैं कॉन्फ्रेंस
Yeah,
लेके जाता
conference.
हूँ।
If agar आपकी psych में there is some issue, they're going to recheck somewhere in your conference. Yeah.
ओके, चलो मैं इसे कॉन्फ्रेंस के फॉर्मेट में लेके चलता हूँ। सो सिंपली दे हैव फर्स्ट आस्क्ड कि भाई आप जॉब करते हो एंड योर इन-लॉज हैज आस्क्ड कि अब नौकरी छोड़ दो। आपने पहले कहा कि सर मैं बात करूंगी एंड वो फिर अपना बताऊंगी कि भाई एक्सपेंसेस भी देखने होते हैं और ये जरूरी है, ठीक है? अब वहां पर वो काउंटर करते हैं, नहीं नहीं, इन-लॉज ने बता दिया कि हमारे पास बहुत पैसा है, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, यू कैन लीव द जॉब।
Okay, so whenever this case is there, I'll make them, the money that you earn is yours. Okay, we have been dependent on our parents since a long time, if you know, right?
Yeah.
But the money that we earn, we can do a lot of, a lot of work out of it, right? Our necessities can be fulfilled by our money, and we'll feel dependent. So I'll make them, understand the fact that it's not just about the job. It's even about how will I kill the time sitting at home? How will I do it? Talking about my education, I've worked so hard for this particular job. Why shall I leave it? I'll make them understand these particular points and the facts that, listen, the thing is that I will take care of what all necessities or what all requirements you have from me. But on the same time, I would like to work because that is my necessity. It's taking care of my necessities.
ओके, फेयर इनफ। उन्होंने थोड़ा और इंट्रिग किया, उन्होंने कहा कोई बात नहीं वैशाली, तुम्हारे पास काम बहुत होगा, बच्चे होंगे, दो बच्चे हैं, दोनों बच्चों संभालना तुम।
I'll not take, the thing is that I will not have two kids. I'll just have one because the fact is that, I'm not interested in increasing the population. The main, that is the thing. I'll, of course, counter this thing that I'm all interested in that one kid, even if I tend to, have one. And talking about the fact of that one kid, her grandmother is great and she can, of course, take care of the kid.
ओके, फेयर इनफ। सो यहाँ पर आपने ऑफिसर को छोड़ दिया, मतलब ऑफिसर ने आपको छोड़ दिया कि हाँ चलो समझ गए, बट आई लाइक टू इंट्रिग यू अगेन, यू आर जॉली, यू आर स्माइलिंग, आई एम पॉइंटिंग यू अगेन अगेन, ठीक है? नॉर्मली मोस्ट ऑफ द गर्ल्स डू नॉट माइंड, आई एम सॉरी मैं किसी गर्ल को अगर हर्ट कर रहा हूँ, बट दे विल गिव अप इफ द इन-लॉज हैज सेड इट समवेयर, कोई पति भी साथ नहीं दे रहा, इन-लॉज भी साथ नहीं दे रहे, क्या करें? अब जो अपनी घर में जो माँ होती है वो भी कहती है मैं क्या करूँ, तुम्हारी तो शादी हो गई है, वो देखेंगे। right?
The thing is, Shubham, if you have this particular behavior, just tell me the fact. If you're ready to leave these basic things when you go to forts, how will those men under you respect you? The people whom you're going to lead in your unit, how will they respect you if you don't hold upon your decisions? Getting
Okay.
it? So you need to be a person who have decided something, and you make sure that you convince others. You should have the power to convince others, because if you don't have it, how will you convince the men who are under you that you are a very good commander, or commanding leader? How will you make sure of that particular thing?
ओके, बट कहीं भी आपकी नर्व क्यों नहीं ब्रेक होती? कभी तो हुआ होगा। मुझसे तो एक बड़ा सिंपल सा सवाल पूछा गया था, एंड माय नर्व गॉट ब्रेक एंड आई गॉट अ लेसन फ्रॉम इट कि भाई घबराना नहीं है। दैट वाज अ क्वेश्चन कि शुभम टेल मी द डिफरेंस बिटवीन मेरठ एंड कोयम्बटूर, एंड दैट वाज अ वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चन। और मेरी नर्व ब्रेक हो
Okay.
गई थी। बट हाउ डिड यू मेंटेन, व्हाट्स द माइंडसेट इन योर हेड कि आई डोंट हैव टू ब्रेक माय नर्व ओवर देयर?
Oh, nothing like this going on behind my head. The thing is that whatever I feel, Shubham, I just talk about that. I don't give up things in front of them that is not right according to me. The people, they face this issue only when they're not being truthful. They're not being truthful about themselves. They're not being truthful about what they are. You can undoubtedly take up a lot of counter questions if you are showing what you are. And this is where the coaching plays a role. Neglect those things that you feel doesn't match your personality, and just accept those that matches. You're there for the guidance, so believe in this very fact.
That's a privilege of Inside SSB यार, कमाल है। I'm sure they are getting the benefit, the people who are watching Inside SSB. But यहाँ से मैं एक और लेकर आता हूँ। चलो ये तो आपने बता दिया about truthful, but मुझे जो नर्वस है नर्व ब्रेकडाउन हुई थी वो यूनिफॉर्म देख के हुई थी। I remember those white shirts and having the golden strip on the shoulders of Indian Navy people, and that मेरी नर्व मतलब हिल गया मेरा कि यार अब नहीं आ पाएगा जवाब। बहुत ही सिंपल सा सवाल था।
So this thing happened in your conference, if I'm right,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they said, right? The thing is, Shubham, we should instead of getting frightened, we should be so proud to even see that uniform from a little distance. When you see those people, this thing happens with me. I get even more motivated when I see people in uniform. I feel like, wow, this is something serene. This is so beautiful. So you should, even instead of getting scared, look at those people and see what a difference they have when they were in civil in front of me, and now they are in olive green. What a beauty! So I see it in that way.
Okay, that's great. Okay, let's move a little forward from here. I like to move to the part of self-description over here. So, self-description I think is a conformity test, but I personally believe कि बच्चे बहुत confused होते हैं. Some believes कि parents से पूछ लेते हैं, some कुछ अपना आप लिख लेते हैं, and they have do not have an understanding how to write it. So, what keep,
Okay,
yeah.
Shubham. On this particular aspect, I will like to tell one thing to you. Okay. Believe a fact that you are a civilian. You have no idea that what goes into SSB. You're going for the first attempt, and you come from a village background. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Maximum people selected in defense are the ones who are not from DPS, DAVs. They are the ones who are from village background, Shubham, right? These people have not got a privilege to even see what's there. They just go and sit and write down the things, what they believe that their parents or their friends think about them, instead of going and asking them. Okay, and they still get recommended. How is it like that? How does it change the game? So the thing is that you have to sit and think what they feel about you. That is what they're asking in psych. They're not asking you to go and poke them to know what do you feel about me. No, that's not the requirement. So make a SD, sit down silently, think, what do your parents think about you? Write it down. What your teachers think about you? What have what all information have they given you? Because of course, when you go to PTM, your teachers must have told you that look, Shubham, this is the thing. This is the you need to improve on this thing. You're very good at this thing. They must have praised your parents also that your kid is very good in this, right? So note those points down and put it in front of your SD. That is what is required. Be truthful in that particular aspect.
Okay, I got your point, but I like to move forward from here. I like to talk about the personal interview over here. Right?
Okay.
Maybe there's a personal interview or GTO, anything will be going around in the SSB this time. So now personal interview is something that you are going to interact with an officer one to one for the first time,
Right.
right? So अब तो आपके पास यूनिफॉर्म सामने भी नहीं दिख रही है. So what right now going to inspire you, and how did you control everything that कि उस जो environment है उसमें you will be comfortable and able to give an answer.
The thing is that the people fear the uniform. So I was just telling about that. You should take it as an inspiration, okay?
Yeah, right.
When he's sitting down in a civil uniform, you're good to go. He's very friendly. He's amazing. Like he'll start talking to you in a very friendly manner. He'll talk about your travel details, how you managed to come there, how is the food, how many friends you made, how is your experience in SSB. So this is all that he's going to talk about. And slowly and steadily, once you're good friends, he's going to ask you further things, okay? So he's making you very comfortable. And I guess that is a very good thing that, SSB has done to make sure that they are able to know the person. And one more thing coming up, some people say the interview went really very, very well and they don't get recommended. Now I'll tell you a thing. Once they start finding out the fact that yes, you are a person who can be recommended, there are some good things in you, they'll start grilling you. This is the reality. Believe me on this. I've been grilled various times, okay? So the first time when I went to my SSB, I had this red face when I came out of this interviewing room. I was like, this was the first time I've heard he's going to be amazing, he's going to be really good. I sat down there, I started giving him all the details that he was asking for. Until the end, Shubham, he started grilling me and grilled me really hard. They wanted to see whether I break down somewhere or not. So take it as a positive thing, okay? If he starts grilling you, believe that there is something good going on. And if it was very casual interview, you have given a lot of things that were not required.
या मैं अभी एक सवाल यही पूछने वाला था. मैंने कहा यार उनका जो फ्रेंडली एटीट्यूड होता है ना खतरनाक हो जाता है हमारे लिए बाद में.
Right.
या बट आई एग्री विद द पार्ट कि अगर आपका ग्रिलिंग ज्यादा हो रहा है ना यू आर पोटेंशियली टू गेट रिकमेंडेड. वो बस चेक कर रहे हैं आप कहाँ जाके टूटेगा इंसान ये.
Exactly.
ओके आई एग्री विद यू पार्ट बट यहाँ पर ऐसी कई चीजें आ जाती हैं जो कि एक इंसान के नर्व को ब्रेक और कर सकती है. जैसे रैपिड फायर जिसे CIQ भी कहते हैं. राइट
Right.
अब रैपिड फायर ऐसा है कि अकॉर्डिंग आई हैव टॉक टू मेनी ऑफिसर्स, आई हैव टुक इंटरव्यू मेनी ऑफिसर्स, सो दे से कि वी आर लुकिंग फॉर द ग्रास्प. बट आप मेरे और आपकी लाइफ में कहीं भी ऐसा नहीं होता कि हमको सीरीज ऑफ क्वेश्चन ऐसे बोल दिए जाएं and you have to answer. I have given more than 15 interviews of corporate world and never they asked and I never faced, but when I come to defense
there is a difference. There is a difference in SSB and the corporate interviews. Buddy, what they're looking for in SSB is a personality, and hence they go deep down your life to know about it.
Yeah.
But when you talk about corporate sector, they just have one motive, and that is to earn a lot of money through you, right?
Yeah.
And that is not something in the defense. So I would like to say that you need to, when there is a CIQ, there is a proper pattern, okay, that is being asked. And in case you forget, don't ever hesitate to say, that's a please, I just forgot. Can you please repeat? And I have done that, okay? It is not a very big thing if you forgot your CIQ, he's going to give you the, particular set of questions again. So, accept the thing that has happened. I'll say this thing. Instead of believing in the fact that you're still trying to remember in front of him, okay, try once. If you're not able to, know what was the question, not able to remember it, ask him, sir, can you please repeat the question? He'll do that.
Okay. One thing I like to confirm it over here, that's my personal belief.
Okay.
That लो आपको 10 के 10 सवाल पूछेगा और आप उसमें खाली 9 ही जवाब दे पाए हो. Don't feel disheartened. बिकॉज उन्हें दो बातों का समझ में आ रहा है. मैं बात करना चाहूंगा एक मिनट में.
Okay.
डोंट फील डिसहार्टेड बिकॉज इट कैन हैपन कि शायद हो सकता है आपकी उस वक्त पुअर हो या हो सकता है आपको नहीं पता हो. मे बी इट कैन हैपन बट डोंट फील डिसहार्टेड क्योंकि अगर मोमेंट आपने स्ट्रेस लिया कि यार 9 क्वेश्चन के जवाब मुझे नहीं आए जो करंट अफेयर्स के थे, देन श्योरली आपकी पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट हो रही है तो कहीं ना कहीं गड़बड़ हो गया है. सो डू यू एग्री ऑन दैट?
Shubham, when I talk about the question that are related to your personality, you should know in and out of it, okay? There is no chance that, sorry sir, I don't know. How is it possible that you don't know a part of your life, Shubham? You have lived that life. How is it possible? But yes, when it's about current affairs, yes, there are certain things which you may not know because there's a huge newspaper, everything is happening in the world. But you know what, like a lot of people say this thing that your GS is not being tested. But I'll tell you one thing, Shubham, that more learned and more aware person you are, the better personality you have, the better views you have about the things in life. And just a point, adding a point into it, you talked about that people go blank in certain pictures. You said this thing, right?
Yeah.
I like to say this thing. If you're aware about things, Shubham, you'll be able to, make much better stories, because there are certain pictures which you're not able to relate to, because you see a flood and you don't know how to, because you've never seen it in your particular place throughout your life. But how can you relate it? If you have seen the newspaper, you know how government is able to tackle it. You can put down those points in your stories. Getting it? So being aware is very important, I feel.
यस दैट्स इम्पोर्टेंट, क्योंकि जब आप अवेयरनेस के अकॉर्डिंग जब आप बोलते हो तो आपकी पर्सनैलिटी का दूसरा ट्रेड भी समझ में आता है कि ये इंसान अपना दिमाग प्रोसेस कर पा रहा है,
Right.
क्योंकि वो क्वेश्चंस भी ऐसे पूछते हैं जो आपकी ओपिनियन जानने वाले होते हैं, राइट?
Right.
बट मैं यहाँ पर आपके सामने फॉर एग्जांपल सिचुएशन ही रख दूँ, आपसे मान लो 5 से 6 क्वेश्चन पूछे गए, या मैं कहता हूँ वही 10 क्वेश्चन पूछे गए, एंड यू नॉट एबल टू आंसर 9 ऑफ द करंट अफेयर्स. नाउ इफ यू disheartened or get stressed, will it benefit?
The particular interviewer, first of all, if you are not a person who reads newspaper on regular basis, he is never going to ask you this type of question. He's not going to give you
Suppose
10
it was
questions.
asked. Suppose it was asked. Maybe it's a
You
difference.
shouldn't get disheartened. Undoubtedly, you should be overly confident in that particular situation. It's okay if I don't know. Just say, sir, sorry, I don't know. Be truthful to him. If you don't know, you don't know. That is it. Okay, and no need to get disheartened, because it's a personality test. Okay, of course there are few people who are not aware. You should work on it. Okay, I'll not say this thing that don't work on it. It's important, but undoubtedly they are checking other things also. If you're good to go with those, this is one thing which can be changed over time. In academy, they'll make sure that they give you good enough information about your international relation. They make sure that you're a person who is well read and well opinionated.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. I like to go forward from here. So when we move from person into the GTO ground, then the whole scenarios change. Where in the psych test you are just writing your answer from person to talking to officer directly. Now in the GTO you are in the group.
Yeah.
Now what happened in the group is that you have a GD which is similar to the screening but extremely different. You are now
Yes.
facing a GD which is of a current affair.
Right.
So, like, what the perspective you have? Because I personally believe that whenever you put a GD, well, you a current affair in a GD, your opinion should be there, and it should be in a very
Undoubtedly.
constructed manner.
When it is a GD, it's not about what you know. It's all about how you perceive it and what do you think about it, okay? GD is always about your own opinions. So that is why I said, Shubham, that in your personality, your awareness is a major role. And you should read well. Talking about myself, I have been asked to read newspaper when I was, just in 7th or 8th class. So I've been reading the newspaper since then. So I have been able to, answer these questions very easily. I have a good opinion about things. And in our home as well, we tend to discuss these things. Even in the mess, like when we go for parties and other things, I see uncles discussing this. Right. So the thing is that opinion develops with time. So the thing is, if you don't read it, I will tell you this particular thing, start reading it today. Everything has a start, right? Make yourself aware, know about things, and I'll even tell a few things like which is important for your GD. Focus more on international relations. Those are the things that will help in your GD a lot. There are type of news if we talk about, okay? We have to stop reading who murdered whom, who was caught, who was the gangster. Nobody's going to ask you these questions in the GD or in your particular interview. Everybody will ask opinions about the trade that went off between India and US. What is the relation between China and Pakistan? What is the relationship between India and both of these countries? You should be aware about it. You are going to defense. You are dealing with these neighbors. If you don't know about it, how to take you? How to know whether you are on our side? Getting it?
Yeah, I'm getting it. So, अगर हम इसे थोड़ा concise करें, so you are saying कि international relationships, especially with the neighboring countries,
बहुत important है.
Yeah, and with that, with the superpowers also.
Yeah, and one more thing comes into role, all the government schemes. Whatever government has released, it creates a good opinion about, what's happening and how to, act to it and what to talk about it.
Right.
Because you can give a lot of examples regarding schemes in your GD.
Okay. So we have right now two things, but I like to add one more thing. दैट इज अ
Yeah.
नेशनल न्यूज विच इज ब्रेकिंग राइट नाउ. जैसे CANRC पे अभी आपके प्रोटेस्ट हो रहे हो, चाहे आपका COVID-19 की प्रॉब्लम हो, चाहे आपकी राम मंदिर का इशू हो, विच इज अ नेशनल इशू विच कैन ट्रांसफॉर्म द नेक्स्ट डिकेड.
I understand that, but they'll never ask anything which is related to religion. Believe me on this thing, they'll never do
Yes,
this
I
thing.
agree. I agree. That's very
Ram
important.
Mandir, they're never going to ask you Ram Mandir, never. They are the people who are actually interested in the issues which are not politicized, not religion
Yes,
based.
yes, but they can ask one more thing. I personally believe कि स्टैचू बनाना चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए, मंदिर और बनवाने चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए. Is a
Bilkul.
hospital
They can
needed?
ask this thing. Reason being, that is the taxpayers' money, and they are the people who are paying a lot of tax, so
जी,
they get hurt by that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can indirectly ask you, but वो
Yeah, indirectly. They'll never go on religion, they'll never go on anything that is politicized. Believe me on this, they'll never.
okay. So there are three things: international relationship with neighbors, plus with the superpowers, and second the government scheme, and third is the national use.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving ahead with that, we have covered the GD part. We are moving to the four consecutively obstacle tasks. Let us PGT, HGT,
Okay.
final group task, and last is command task. So
Yeah.
गर्ल्स का क्या हासिल नहीं रहता होगा, मुझे लगता है लड़कियां ज्यादा लड़ती होंगी वहां पर.
No, 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 nothing like that. Whenever I have been to any of the groups, seriously telling Shubham, everybody was so supportive, okay? They'll tend to help you. Let's do this, let's do that. This thing, this issue happens in freshers, okay? This issue, because they don't know that, you are being tested on that aspect. So they will come and they'll cause a lot of hassle. That is the first time I faced. But after that, in all my repeater attempts, I've seen this thing that girls are very good. They support you, they help you, and you help them. That is what's a group about.
अच्छा, हमारे केस में ऐसा नहीं होता. लड़के पहले भी बेशरम होते हैं और बाद में भी बेशरम ही होते हैं.
Oh my God.
So they do not help as such.
And that even depends on the what kind of crowd you got, okay? What kind of peer that you got in that group. That matters a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So moving ahead, but still, being a fresher, चलो आपके साथ fresher में हुआ होगा. So what's the mindset over there? I always believe कि यार teamwork पे चलो and everything will come in own place.
This is the thing. I've also focused upon the teamwork, okay? Wherever you can support team, okay? Whenever they're not able to do things, okay? When they're able to do, why to show to, GTO that, listen, look here, I'm able to do it. No, that is not the requirement. You don't have to show it to him. The fact is that you have to show it to the group. You need to show that, okay, your technique is good. You should take it up. That you need to show to the group, not the GTO. So that should be your mindset. In case they are struck, again I'll say this thing, okay, if they are able to find out that, okay, this is the way we'll go, don't try to put away that, listen, this is the way we can do. If they are able to do it, let them do. Maybe in the next obstacle you'll get a chance. Nothing like that. They are assessing you throughout. No issues at all.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you one tough question. I'm sure you will be a blank. देखिए, आप और मैं सेम बात मानते हैं कि GTO में अगर टीम वर्क से आप काम कर रहे हैं तो एवरीथिंग कम इन अ प्लेस. ओके,
Right.
बट आप टीम वर्क से काम जरूर कर रहे हैं, बट रिकमेंड तो एक ही इंसान हो रहा है ना, टीम तो रिकमेंड नहीं हो रही है.
So the fact is, Shubham, that not everybody knows that what is teamwork.
Okay.
The people who are from sports background, or the people who have actually done things in a group, understands the value of teamwork. So the thing is, not everybody will act in the same way. There will be some people who will be trying to show that, look at me, to the GTO. There will be some people lagging behind, who will not be doing anything. And there will be 2-3 players in that who are still working hard, trying to solve that issue as soon as possible, so that finally the team reaches till the end. So you have to be amongst those people, the few people in between who are actually helping the team.
Okay. Okay. One more thing regarding personality, I miss out. That is, some people have a belief कि यार मैं तो स्कूल में कभी sports या कुछ नहीं खेला है, activities नहीं की हैं, so it's surely going to impact on it. Where I personally believe कि अगर इस बात को छोड़ के तुम आज से करना शुरू कर दो, if you start playing football with a member in the colony or some ground, then it will impact the same thing. Do you believe the same?
So what is self-introspection basically? Knowing that what you have not done till date.
Okay.
Knowing that what is not right in you, right? And just fixing it out. That's self-introspection. So you got to know that you've not been doing it. Start doing it today. You
Okay.
change it in a way or so, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just tell one more thing in this particular situation, that, there is this mindset of people that, there is a physical requirement in the forge. They all ask you for is that physical requirement. I feel that it's all about the mental requirement, okay? The kind of mental capacity you have, the more mental strain you can take. It's about what kind of a person you are. It's not at all just about how good build you have. So we people tend to see that they're tall people, they are these gym people, they're going to make it because it's about forge. No, it's all about what you have in your mind, how much strength you have in your mind. That is going to dictate your, recommendation in the SSB.
Okay. Like to move forward with that. These are the very golden words. But I like to move forward with one lecturate part. See,
Okay.
I personally feel कि lecturate जिसने बचपन से बोलता आ रहा है, somewhat it's a plus point या पहले से आदत है उसे बोलने की. But there's one tricky thing in an entire lecturate कि जब दूसरा बंदा बोल रहा होगा 3 मिनट, उसी पीरियड में ही आपको सेंड कर दिया जाएगा एक टॉपिक के साथ और उसी 3 मिनट में फटाफट आपको वायर अप करना है एंड गेट अप लाइन अप बिफोर खत्म होने से पहले दूसरे बंदे के.
Right.
So how you use these 3 minutes, how you utilize it, and how do you choose a topic?
The thing is that if you're well read about, look, there are like four particular topics that are given to you. The topmost being the most difficult, and at the same point, having a lot of content to speak about. If you're aware about the recent issues, I suggest taking the first topic, just accumulating the introduction part, then the part that is very important about it, and finally the part of the conclusion that should be your idea, not somebody else's. Okay, what you think about it, I feel that is the most important part of lecturing. So that is how I accumulate the points. If I'm good to go with the first one, I know things about it, I'll go for it. Otherwise I'll choose anything out of them, like other four topics, and I'll just go for introduction. What will I say in intro? I'll just add up 3-4 points, and then finally what are my views on it, because the my views I am well aware about. I don't need to prepare it. Getting it? So introduction and those 2-3 points that you have to make, and finally view of yours, you can stand there and speak, no issues.
Okay, fair enough. I agree on that part. But as you said, the first topic is difficult, and the rest of the 3 topics are comparatively easy because there are 4 topics. So do you
Right.
think that GTO also discriminate between those 4 topics also कि आपने कौन सा चुना है?
Undoubtedly that shows the level of awareness about you have. Okay, so of course that creates a difference, but undoubtedly where you have been more confident shows the real thing about you. Okay, so the thing that is being checked there is also the confidence. So if you choose the first topic and you go blank after 2 minutes, it's of no use. Instead, go for the fourth topic, speak about it, have opinionated answers about it, and you're good to go. You can make a very simple, like, women empowerment issue to be a very good one. How you can do it? Talk about the recent schemes that's been happening, okay? How women are being, brought out, how the things are happening in the country. Talk about those issues. You can make a very static issue a very live issue by the way you speak about it.
So the utmost priority is that you must be confident whatever topic you choose.
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly.
Okay, so we move forward from here. Now we have certain things that we need to be careful about it. I personally believe first, never listen to the repeaters. I personally believe so. Second, do not judge your performance, just enjoy your performance.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about don't listen to repeaters, it comes for the ones who don't get recommended, and then they tend to cook up things, a lot of things. This must have happened. This must have happened, and they the thing that they believe, they supply it in the market to the freshers. Okay, and then they develop that particular ideology. Okay, this must have happened. So never listen to the repeaters. That is the reason that you should not listen to the repeaters. Okay, and the second part being.
The second part was being that do not judge your performance, just enjoy your performance.
Exactly, Shubham. So the thing is that you should always be concerned about that how you are, like, you should not be concerned about how you're doing in the task. Instead, you should enjoy it thoroughly. The reason being, if you'll start evaluating yourself, you will be tensed and your performance in another task is going to be impacted a lot. Okay. So the thing is that you should not analyze yourself. I'll just give you an example myself. So in my first SSB, I was just a fresher, and of course you don't know a lot of things, you're going through it for the first time. So I couldn't complete my group planning, a very important part. I couldn't complete it in the writing part. And I just called up my brother and I discussed with him, look, I actually couldn't write it. So he was telling me this thing, listen, it doesn't matter what you did there, okay? The thing is that it's the overall performance that matters. So in case you have not done good in one thing, make sure that you're doing well in other things. okay, and it's going to suffice. For example, I couldn't complete the writing part. I made sure that I do very well in GD, and of course tend to give my points that I lacked writing down in the group planning into the group discussion. So that is what you need to make sure of.
Okay, I completely agree with that, and I think we have done with the all. And I must say the viewers are impressed with the two things, and that is one is your smile and second is your knowledge. So I'm sure our viewers are looking forward कि दोबारा आपसे कब मौका मिलेगा.
Oh, thank you so much, dear. And yes, I am also aware about the fact that a lot of people are going to ask me that you have been recommended 5 times, but why you didn't join. So I would like to add up a thing to it. For girls, it's not that easy, okay, to make it through the merit. And certainly, I too have a lot of age that is left, both for CDS and FCAT. But there are some personal reasons that I would not like to discuss on the social media. Everybody have their personal lives, if you agree. So the thing is that I have given the knowledge about all my 5 attempts, and I hope that is going to help a lot of people in the best of possible ways. And everything that if you have any doubt, any of your family members, this amazing family, if they have any doubts, please make sure that you come to Insight SSB, ask me anything, drop down a comment. If you have any doubts, I'll make sure that I make a video upon it. That is why Insight SSB has come into a role play.
थैंक यू सो मच. अच्छा, मैं एक बात और करना चाहूँगा. आपने मेरिट लिस्ट की आउट होने की बात कही. मेरे हिसाब से इफ अ गर्ल इज सीकिंग टू गेट मेरिट इन, फॉर एग्जांपल
Yeah.
सीडीएस में ही 10 से 14 सीट होती हैं, 10 to 14 सीट्स, so that's a very less as compared to the men OTA.
Yeah.
मेरे हिसाब से गर्ल को हमेशा ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि सीडीएस में 110 से ऊपर या 100, मतलब 100 से 100
It depends upon your look. When I talk about this thing, Shubham, it depends a lot on your SSB. Okay, so some people get marks in 90s. Okay, some get it in 70s also in SSB who get recommended. So the major role player is your written examination when it comes to CDS. But not the same case doesn't lie in the FCAT. So there is this myth being supplied in the market, get 200 plus, 200 plus. That is not the case. Believe me, Shubham, there I have a lot of friends. Actually, for girls, if you're from admin logistics branch, you tend to just have 2, 3 seats. And even we have our martyrs wives who get a seat out of those admin logistics. So the thing is that the seats left in Air Force is very less. You just get 2 seats or 1 seat. And they tend to accommodate girls according to their age, whose age are ending, okay? So that plays a very important role. I have seen girls with 230 marks getting merit out and girls with 168 marks getting merit in Adam branch.
ओके, दैट्स एब्सोल्युटली राइट. बट मैं यहाँ पर अपने व्यूअर्स को एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ. कोई सा भी एग्जाम हो, वेदर इट इज सीडीएस और एफकेट, द रिटन परसेंटेज इज लिटिल लेस एज कंपेयर टू द एसएसबी.
Yeah, Shubham, I agree upon the fact, but even you need to work very hard on your written so that you are able to score well in that, because of course that too has some percentage. SSB is one thing which is completely dependent upon them, but there in your hand you have certain marks, that is written marks. So focus upon it, but never feel like that you just cleared your written by just 5, 6 marks. Should I go for SSB or not? I get a lot of questions like this on Instagram. Ma'am, should I go for my SSB? I just got 5 marks above. I'll not be taken. I'll not get merit in. Nothing like that. Believe me on a fact, the boys who are recommended are going to go to academy 100%. Okay, I'm not talking about Air Force. Air Force may some people do get merit out, but talking about Army, if you'll not get IMA, this AFA or INA, this is sure that you'll go to OTA 100%. Okay, but in Air Force, boys also need to work a little hard, focus more on your SSB. And FCAT, even if you're getting like 169, 168, people do get to go to academy, that too in permanent commission for boys. That happens.
Okay, that was a great words, and I think we are all done. And thank you so much for your valuable time. And I wish कि हम हमारी मुलाकात दोबारा जरूर हो.
Surely, surely, Shubham. Thank you so much.
जय हिंद.
Jai Hind.
आपको याद होगा मैंने वीडियो की स्टार्टिंग में बोला था कि वैशाली इज एक्सट्रीमली वाइज, एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड वर्किंग गर्ल, एंड उनके 5 टाइम्स रिकमेंडेड होने की आपको वजह भी समझ में आ गई होगी. बट मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको, दोबारा याद दिला रहा हूँ मैं आपको कि उनका एक वेबिनार होने वाला है लाइव, और उसको ज्वाइन करने का तरीका यही है कि आपको एक गूगल फॉर्म मिलेगा डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में, उस पे आप जाके क्लिक करो, उसे फिल करो, एंड वी गोइंग टू सेंड यू अ लिंक ऑफ अ गूगल मीट, एंड शार्प उस टाइम पर आप वैशाली से मुलाकात करो एंड लाइव अपने इंटरेक्शन में सारे के सारे सवाल कंप्लीट करें. ठीक है। सो मुलाकात होगी आपकी वैशाली से 2 अगस्त को, उसका वेबिनार है, सो डोंट मिस इट। तुरंत उसका फॉर्म, गूगल फॉर्म आप फिल करें और हमारी तरफ से आपको लिंक मिलेगा। मैं तो हम आपसे विदा। जय हिंद, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।
मैं उनको रोज सोचता हूँ, मैं उनको रोज सोचता हूँ। वो है अंतिम पगों के निशान।